everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back for another strategies, tactics and boosts video. And we are just before uh, our racing weekend, and we're going to look to examine the 8 tracks we are racing for this week's GP, for this week's Red Bull Team Series GP. I hope that uh, everybody got through to the opening, and yeah, we helped a little bit with the strategies we proposed to you in my last video. I proposed to you in my last video. Now we are going to see how we're getting through to the final, and from there getting the highest position we can. So first of all, let's take a look to a very wet weekend. As you can see, 5 out of 8 tracks are with very high chances, all above 50% chances of rain. No temperature issues, so this means we have to be careful about mixed conditions and raining. We are racing in Barcelona, Singapore, Zandvoort, Monza, Spa, Spielberg, Austria, the Red Bull Ring, Jeddah and Sao Paulo, with big chances of rain. 83 in Singapore, 66 in Zandvoort, 50 in Monza and Sao Paulo, and 54 in Belgium, Spa. Okay, this is going to be a very interesting event. Okay, here we are, and let's take a look. We have a lot to see because we have to see dry conditions, wet conditions. So we have a lot of strategies to see. Let's get on with them. And first, we start with Spain. You know here that we have some issues with our tires. We cannot go 4 laps with softs. We need mediums. If we want to go 5 laps, then only with hards, hard, soft. Especially, this is a strategy for where we are at the back of the grid. Okay, and exactly the opposite. But wherever you are, the fastest strategy is this one: 4-4, medium, medium. Probably we're going to choose cornering boosts, but I have said it more than enough times that now that the boosts are boosted, we take a look at our vulnerabilities of our setup and drivers, and we see if we have low level drivers, then we prefer to choose a boost that will help our drivers be better, especially with their race start and maybe their overtaking or their tire management. And then we choose something for making our car faster. And the second fastest strategy in Spain: 2 pit stops, all softs, 3-3-2. Especially if you are in the middle or at the top of the grid, it's it's a great choice to go to pit stops. Of course, many players will choose to go both drivers 4-4. If your drivers have a gap big enough that you can avoid stacking, yes, go for it. Else, it's better to go for your second driver 2 pit stops. Now, Singapore. This is a very tricky, although it seems very easy, and the strategies are very simple. It's a very tricky track, excuse me, because if you don't have a good race start here, and especially in a wet race, oh, excuse me, if you don't have a good race start, then you are in big trouble, especially in a wet race. Now, here we are going either for 2 pit stops, 2-2-2, all softs, or we are choosing 1 pit stop, 3-3 mediums. That's the 2 best choices, and I'm almost always using first driver, one driver, 2 pit stops, the other driver, 1 pit stop, because in 2 laps in Singapore it's difficult to make a gap big enough to avoid stacking. So I choose different strategies for my drivers. Of course, there is always the possibility to go 4-2, but for me it's the slowest of the 3 strategies, and you are going to have issue with your reliability of your car. Singapore is the track that where we have issues with the reliability of our car. So if you decide to go 4-2, then definitely choose a boost that will help you with the reliability of your car. Now, if it rains, 3-3, both for drivers, wherever you are, and if you are at the top, go for it, 4-2. Again, be careful with the reliability of your car. Zandvoort, well, here it's not an easy track, but it's a simple track, and what we have to do is simple: 4-3 medium soft, 3-4 soft medium. Probably cornering boosts, but combo boosts if you start at the top of the grid are great. And that's it. 4-3, 3-4. Nothing else to choose from here. Now, if it rains, again, we want to make the undercut. So 3-4 and 4-3 for our 2 drivers. We can easily go 4-3 and the second driver 5-2, because most of the bots are going to pit in lap 5. So maybe we can go 4-3 our second driver, and if we have a driver that is P1, P2, P3, we can go 5-2. But okay, if you are not at the top 3 drivers, then 3-4, 4-3, and you're going to lose positions. But don't worry, all the bots are going to pit in lap 5. Just stay close to them. When they pit, you will overtake all of them while they are pitting. Yeah, Monza. Okay, Monza. 4-4, guarantee the best. It's guaranteed the best strategy here, wherever you start. Now, if you are at the top of the grid, then you can go 2 pit stops depending on your tire management. If you don't have good tire management, you will need mediums, but if you have good tire management, okay, then it's all softs. And choose any variation of the 2 pit stop strategies. As you can see, I have them all here. Now, if it rains, 4-4, both your drivers, that's it. You have to make it to go both your drivers 4-4, 1 pit stop, the same strategy. We cannot go 2 pit stops here. It's going to be a disaster. So both your drivers 4-4, and this is Monza. This is what Monza is. This is why I believe most of the players hate Monza this season. Let's go to Belgium. And again here, for our dry strategies, the best strategies are 2 pit stops. Either if you want to do the undercut, especially if you start at the back of the grid. There is always 3-3 with hards or with mediums. If you are afraid of doing 2 pit stops, I would really like this strategy if you start at the back or in the middle, but again, it's a little bit passive. You are not gaining a lot of positions, but you make sure that you don't lose a lot of positions. So yeah, it's a safe strategy, but you don't have a lot to win with this. If you want to win a lot of positions, this is the best strategy. 2 pit stops, all softs. Yeah, I know it's a risk, especially if you start at the back, but it is the fastest strategy. Uh, well, if you are in the middle or at the top of the grid, uh, with no second thoughts, this is the best strategy you can follow. Now, if it rains, again, if you are at the back, in the middle, or at the top of the grid, you can go 2-2-2. Your drivers, both your drivers. If you are at the top of the grid, 3-3 is on the table, because we can push a little. We can push a little bit, but I like this especially more if we are at the top of the grid and not at the back. Again, it's a safe strategy. All the bots will pit in lap 2, in lap 3. So this is why we want to pit 1 lap before them. We keep our position, pit in lap 2, just push to get close to them. And when they pit, we overtake them. And the most critical stint here is our second stint, where we have to push equally in both laps. We have to push to get close, back close to close the gap between us and the cars that are ahead. And then when they pit, we overtake them while they are pitting, and then we have to push again to create a gap, so we can do our second pit. Service in your first pit, no service in your second pit. Okay, Austria. Austria is 10 laps, very simple to race here. 3-3-4, soft, medium. I like soft, medium in this strategy, where the 4 laps are in the last stint. First, our other driver, 4-3-3, he can go. Our first driver can do it all with softs. Especially if we have good tire management, we can go all softs here, but we have to be a little bit careful with our tire management in this first stint. Of course, it will help us, because we are not going to be able to push in the first stint. It will help us to have a full charged battery for our second and third stint. So it will give us an advantage. So if you can go with softs, soft, all stints. Saudi Arabia, a dry race here, thank God. And of course, this is like Austria, this is like Zandvoort. We don't have many choices in strategies. It's very straightforward. 2 pit stops, 2-2-3, soft, hard, and 3 to 2 hard, soft, and then it depends. If you have good tire management, it's soft. If you don't have great tire management and you want to push in your last stint, then we go with mediums. It's up to you to decide which compound you are going to use. I like here mostly speed and overtaking boosts, but okay, it's up to you. I say again to decide which boost will help your drivers and your car. And finally, we have Brazil with with 54. With 50% chance of rain. So we're going to see both of them. And the fastest lap this the fastest lap for this event, opening and final round, is going to be in Austria. Yes, if there wasn't Austria in the 8 tracks, then it would be Brazil, but it's going to be Austria. Okay, for the fastest lap. Let's see Brazil. So in Brazil, we have 9 laps. One pit stop strategy is a fast strategy. Depending on your tire management again, it can be, well, if we have the 5 laps in our second stint, it would be better to do it with hards. But if we choose to go 5 laps in our first stint, then we can go medium, and the first stint will help us build our power unit, charge our battery, and then go full aggressive in our second stint. And of course, the fastest strategy is this one, is 2 pit stops, all softs. Brazil is a very fast track. Only in sector, give me 1 second, only in sector 2, the blue sector as you see it here, and only from corner 6 to corner 12 is a slow track. The rest of the track is very fast, so softs will help us be very fast. And don't forget that probably all the bots, or most of the bots, will go for mediums and hards, so using softs will help us overtake much easier the bots. And of course, if you want to play a little bit with your drivers, if you have super great tire management, then 4, 5 soft medium, it's very fast, but it's borderline to for the tires. So maybe if you don't have 95 and above tire management, then you need something like Tsar, Movember, Frost, Downforce. You need some tire management boosting. Now, if it rains, the undercut for your drivers is the best choice. Both your drivers, if you are at the back or in the middle of the grid, 4-5, and only if you are at the top of the grid, you pit with the bots, 5-4. And I believe, I'm not wrong, I believe that these are our 8 tracks for this weekend. I hope we will help you once again to get great results. I'm glad that you are sending me messages telling me that the strategies work and we helped you get good results. And by the way, don't forget, in the description of this video you will find my Discord server link. Just click on it and enter my Discord server. You will find all these strategies accessible whenever you want, for your duels, for GPs, for whatever you need them. You will find them in my Discord server. So come join, and of course, we can talk about whatever you want there, and you can ask anything about the game. Okay, let's go and see again our A-Tracks. Barcelona, Singapore, Zandvoort, Monza, Spa, Red Bull Ring, Jeddah and Sao Paulo. High chances of rain in Singapore, Zandvoort, Monza, Spa and Brazil. Don't forget, of course, that our two boosted drivers are the Red Bull drivers, Verstappen and Perez. And that's it for today. I hope you will have a great racing weekend. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to the channel so you will and press that little bell so you will get notified when I'm uploading a new video or when I'm live streaming. Don't forget that every Wednesday and every weekend I'm streaming live my races. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the support, and I wish to everybody great results. See you in my next video. Bye everybody. Bye.